The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A first carry for Elijah McGuire. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's McGuire. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Now McGuire takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Cousins throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. To throw, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. He's got it at the 15. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen. 43 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Yeah, he's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Bucky Hodges, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Room here to run. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up on Mike Hughes. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Following the interception, Cousins finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 3rd down, Cousins toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a 1st down. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now Cousins over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. The left side caught by Diggs. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
I don't care who you put on him. he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. A give. This is Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. High throw, but the catch is made. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Liz.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's got his targets come. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Daniil Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time run right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards through the air and a first down. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Mike Daniels in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action now. Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll run with McGuire. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10.
Wide.
First down. Here's Cousins. Flushed out right. Lets it fly. That's caught at the 25. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 43 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, Cousins. He'll dump it off to Procise. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They'll run forward with Bo Scarborough. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think
that he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he knocks it through. Carlson now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 58.
On the carry, this is McGuire. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up. A third down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take it. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do?
26.
We're about to find out. 4th down. They run. It's Williams. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Watch the 50. They're hot. There it is.
Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
They run it again with Cook. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Gun.
Cousins on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Prosise, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hey, where y'all going?
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 45 yards.
Hey, check 26.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Cousins now. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now on the afternoon. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at a nice little drive brewing right here.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, we looked at each other. Right when he flinched, we knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Ohio. Ohio.
Now it's the backup Kaiser. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. On 1st and 10, Kaiser. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
On second down, Kaiser again. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Flex round! Flex round!
Again, it's Kaiser. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Crosby puts it through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And now out comes Minnesota. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They run. This is Scarborough. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, honors the punt team, sending this one away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Ohio! Ohio!
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
And he checks this one down to Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
To throw, Kaiser. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Kaiser now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Kaiser. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slam.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And now running right through it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
2nd down, Kaiser into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
This is Scarborough, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They try again with Scarborough. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because They're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now the Packers get set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style.